We are back to our show, Sunshine. Dear viewers, I'd like to thank our co-host, Dr. Noor Nibari, for giving us very important information about how to improve our health. Now we are starting our first interview segment. So as a result of climate change, many islands, including Failaka, are at risk with the sea level rise, with the governmental plans to develop Failaka Island. That will be most considered issue. The study focusing on detecting the threatening islands on Failaka using GIS, warning 31% of the island might disappear if the SLR reaches 1 meter. It's a very important topic. So we're delighted to have with us today Mr. Jاسم البناي, MSc in GIS and RS in Geoscience, Geospatial Data Analyst. Hello and good morning and welcome to our show, Sunshine.
Hi everyone, good morning. Thank you for inviting me here today. Glad and happy to be with you here.
Good morning, dear Jاسم, and I always, Aziz, see the potentiality when I see the people, they are smiling.
I see in your eyes also.
I know, and it is, we are so glad that you are granting us really a pleasure by your presence here in our episode today, Jاسm. Your topics is really very important topic, which is what we call it the SLR, and this is really one topics we talked about it long time ago, and now it is very important to have this as an issue in our segments of our Sunshine program. So what's coastal? We know Failaka is one of the best islands in Kuwait. What's the coastal zone management, first of all, and who work in this field when we talk about this special topics?
Yeah, sure, Doctor. Thank you. Before that, we know that Failaka is one of the most important islands in the country. Speaking about the history, the age of the island referred to more than 4,000 years ago.
That's right.
And it used to be a trade route for traders from Europe to India because of its unique location in the end, let me say, or north of the Arabian Gulf. And also, it is for us as a Kuwaiti because people used to live on the island before the Gulf War in 1990. About the coastal zone management, because we have many environmental issues as a result of the burning fossil fuels and so on. So because of these issues, we have to solve them. We have what we call it human impact on environment. And because of that impact, we have the environmental sciences just born in the last century. One of them is the field of coastal zone management.
Hello.
So the coastal zone management is a field aims to understanding the coastal area, studying it, protect it, to achieve the sustainability.
This is very important, Aziz.
Achieving sustainability.
Yeah, and it is a new type of fields really, because it is an old one, but now it has become very important really to enhance the talking about it.
So amazing. So it's like a variety of topic. Too many we are like shortcuts, but too many variety of meanings. So CZM, Coastal Zone Management.
Yeah, coastal zone.
So you're already talking about the sustainability. So what about the tools of it?
Well, about the tools of coastal zone management and sustainability, we have today what we call it the spatial technology. Is to simplify that, it's a mix between the computer sciences, software, hardware, engineering, and environmental science and the science of geography. So all of them come together to create what we call a geography information system. That system is to simplify the complicated world into small model on the computer.
That's small
great.
model of the computer, Doctor.
Oh yeah, I think Jاسم, my brother Jاسم, is very important. Now we talked about the big issue which is now jumping in our heads really couple of years ago, which is the rising of the sea water level. I think this is very important topics.
Yeah.
For the viewers and for some of us, you know, what that's mean. And is it dangerous that we should concern about it?
Yeah, sure. Let me start from the beginning of the story. When we speak about burning the fossil fuel, we have increasing temperature in the world.
Exactly.
Because of that increasing in the temperature, the ice on the North Pole and Antarctica melting. And when the ice melts, it's transferred from the ice to liquid, to the water, seas and oceans. We have just a one level around the world. So that means when the sea level rise, in America, it will rise in the Arabian Gulf. It's just mean sea level on the world. And when the sea level rise, probably 0.3, 0.5 meters or anything, that will affect the coastal area. We will lose the coastal areas. And we just, when we look at the world map, we can see that the population are considered on the coastal area. So it is important and unique for us.
But what can we do for? I mean, it is a problem, Aziz. It is a problem, and we have to face it. But and people, you know, in Kuwait or the other even countries in the world, people, they like to live on the coast. They have to have chalets and condominiums, and the beauty of the, you know, sunrise with the look at the seaside.
And especially tan.
Especially the tan. Well, it is a problem. What shall we do for it, and who is in charge?
Well, as a scientist, we have to know the issue before that. So we use GIS, as we said, as a tool to understand that issue, to know where is the areas that may affect by sea level. So speaking about Failaka, not all the island will affect because of sea level. So we want to know where is the areas that may be under the risk.
Why Failaka? She is the best. We said Ahla al-Jizr, the best of the islands. Why it has to have this destiny?
Because we are going to develop the island, and that's something important. The situation is complicated in Bopian and Warba because we have a lot of sabkhas there, so they have to be prepared well before. But Failaka is the most suitable island on the country because we can see a lot of sands and something like that. Regarding the sea level, we are speaking for the lands because the lands or islands, let me say, lower than the mainland, the continents. So yeah, it is on the risk of sea level more than
I think, Aziz, this is really a great topics that we can discuss, and for that reason also, you know, we were as a TEC, Touristic Enterprises Company, we did have chalets there, condominiums and things like this, and we didn't you know, rebuild it again because of a lot of you know, what's happened in the, you know, invasion and things like this. But now we are seeking to develop it. So it is very important that we know what's going on to do that or stop.
Yeah, it's very important. By the way, we already see some of the shots during in the on-air about the thing that our guest, Jاسم البناي, already telling about the importance of how to develop the Failaka Island, about the RS and GIS. Already see the shots
you can see
air,
it in the air.
On air now. So our guest, Jاسم البناي, now we talk about different topic. We talked about RS, we talked about GIS, SID, ZM. I already memorizing the symbols.
There are a lot of different abbreviations.
But it's good, nice. So now about the climate change, because we are focusing about GIS, the SID, the CZM. I am good.
Yeah.
So the climate change in the coastal, why it's very important?
Because of climate change, we have many consequences of that issue.
Consequences?
Yeah.
Yes.
One of them is sea level rise. Another one, probably the storms, maybe. And because of the storms, we have maybe coastal erosion. So chalet may affect by the coastal erosion. To simplify that, the coastal erosion is the coast maybe with the time we come back because of the energy of the waves. And how can we detect that? By using RS and GIS, we can detect many things occurs on the planet.
Can we, I know we can, but I want to the viewers to know that. Can we detect really the reality, the real measurements of these items for at least 10 or 20 or 50 years coming?
Yeah, sure. If you are speaking about remote sensing is like the science of extracting data and information from distance without touching, using the reflected and emitted radiation from the sun. It's to simplify that, it's like our phone. We take photos every day and we can extract information from the photos. For example, knowing the number of the people are on the photos. We do that the same using remote sensing by putting sensors or cameras onto the satellite, orbiting the Earth and taking images all the time. We use these images, compare two images, to measure the changes that
versus time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can say 0.2 meters, for example, just come back on the shoreline or coastline. So yeah, we are speaking about numbers, and that really very accurate.
Nice.
I think, Aziz, it is a very important issue.
You know what's the good thing that I sensed today in our interview segment with Mr. Jاسم البناي? Albert Einstein said before, if you want to teach people about your science, you teach it in a very simple way. He's the very true science. The thing you're already telling us about your role, the scientist role for your project, is very amazing. We already learned everything in maybe in 10 minutes. That's very important. So now, because we're talking about the Failaka Island, so what about the other issues that maybe affect the island, especially instead of these? What do you think?
As I said, maybe if we are going to plan for the island, we have to considering the sea level rise because we want to achieve the sustainability in addition to the coastal erosion, that's very important, and probably the energy of the waves and the other coastal issues that may affect the coastline.
As a scientist, Jاسم البناي came to Sunshine program meeting Dr. Semal Asousi and Abdulaziz Darwish and talking about these beautiful topics. Is it very important that we have to collect efforts together now before tomorrow to take a decision that we have to find the solution for this problem by any cost? Is that right or not?
Sure, because now we have time, but probably after 5 or 10 years we don't have time.
That's right.
So when we plan for the future from today, it will be better, of course, and we will reduce the economic losses. So that's very important, yeah, sure.
I think, Aziz, Failaka is still the best, islands in Kuwait, and we love her. And we, inshallah, gonna find a solution for this problem by the getting together between scientists and the officials, also people from the Kuwait government. But finally, what shall we say for a gentleman? He gave us a beautiful info today, Aziz, except we thank you very much.
Welcome.
And we are so glad. Don't leave this shiny smile. It is part of our, Sunshine program. And dear viewers, on your behalf and our behalf, we thank really our guest, Jاسم البناي. He is a great gentleman, and I think we learned a lot about the many different topics in this field, Abdulaziz.
Yeah, and we'd like to thank him because he already specialized about the GIS and RS in geoscience and geospatial data analysis. I'd like to thank him for today for giving us very good information about what happened about CZM. Now,